running down to Cuba with a load of sugar. Hey! Wavy boys to Cuba, make her run, you lime juice squeezers, running down to Cuba. Hey! Wavy boys to Cuba, running down to Cuba. Oh, I got a sister, she's 9 feet tall. Wavy boys to Cuba. She sleeps in the kitchen with her feet in the hall. Running down to Cuba. Wavy boys to Cuba. Hey! Running down to Cuba. The captain, he will trim the sails. Wavy boys to Cuba. Winging the water over the rails. Running down to Cuba. Wavy boys to Cuba, running down to Cuba. Give me a gal can dance fandango. Wavy boys to Cuba, round as a melon and sweet as a mango. Hey! Running down to Cuba. Wavy boys to Cuba, running down to Cuba. Load the sugar and homeward go. Wavy boys to Cuba. Mr. Mate, he told me so. Running down to Cuba. Hey! Wavy boys to Cuba. Running down to Cuba.
Good evening, everybody. How is everybody doing? Of course.
Hi!
The tradition is still being upheld.
How is everybody?
Oh. Good.
Awake, alive,
Hungry.
functional.
Physically.
Functional.
You guys ready to enjoy some more time on the high seas? It's been going so well for you.
Oh, I think it'll go lovely for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
How's everybody's week? What'd you get up to?
It was good, surprisingly.
Nobody died yesterday.
Yeah, good. Yes.
I'm surprised.
It's only part 1 of 2.
Oh yeah.
There's still time.
I've been taking a relaxing week. I've been taking me time this week.
Right on. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's always good to have.
Zora, what'd you get up to this week?
I went to WonderCon on Sunday, where I got to go to the Critical Role panel, which was tons of fun. Got this adorable little Junkrat pillow that I'm currently stuffing because it came stuffingless. And that.
Who sells a pillow without stuffing? What the fuck?
She ran out, but it's okay because then that's how I got to knock down the price. So,
All right.
yay haggling.
I saw a picture with you and one of the guys from Critical Role.
Taliesin, yes,
Yeah.
and in the second campaign, he's playing a blood hunter. So I was like,
is.
"Oh, this is perfect."
Blood Hunter
No.
besties.
So yeah, so I thought it would be perfect. So yeah, I was actually really excited. I got to see him on the floor. So yeah, and I've been a fan of the show ever since they started it. So
Right on.
that's cool.
HP Fox, I'm sure you can't talk about it, but how's your week?
I'm just like kind of broken right now because I don't know how to handle all the various things that are going on.
Set them all on fire and start over.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
That's what I do. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Just set it all on fire.
Yeah, it's been just so much good and so much bad all at once,
Ugh.
and it's just I don't know how to function right now.
Like, you're just like, I can't even at this point.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Rojan, how's your week? What'd you
Pretty
get up to?
Been playing just a ton of Far Cry 5. Mainly the arcade mode because I'm saving the story mode for stream.
Right on.
There's an arcade mode.
There's an arcade mode that people can generate their own levels, and you go in, you complete things, and while you do that, you get experience points. So you level up like your arcade level, but it's also giving you prestige points and stuff to use in the actual game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's really cool. They also have a arcade mode deathmatch where people go in and just gun each other down. So it's got some quality content behind it. There's a zombie DLC coming out for it later on in the year, so I'm looking forward to that.
But it's a zombie apocalypse like Montana.
I have some opinions about the Far Cry 5 story. I'm going to keep them to myself since you haven't played it.
I've
Okay.
played part of it. I'm still early on into the game, but I kind of like blew through the initial start of it because my brother and I were planning on doing co-op and whatnot together.
Right on.
On top of that, we had the second to last episode of Gibbering Mouthers last night.
Yes, season 2 starting soon.
Yeah, I posted the world map for season 2 on Twitter.
Which looks awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be a huge world, and I wanted it like that because I love doing campaigns in huge worlds. Gave everybody some interesting items last night, and then realized that I literally gave a weapon of mass destruction into the hands of the most immature party member.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask a question, but that's mean, and I'm not gonna ask it.
Oh no, it was Luxana.
Oh, okay. That's not at all who I thought it would have been.
Luxana has a death cannon.
Yeah. So Spooner kind of pretty much more eloquently put what I was gonna say about Far Cry 5 is that it's very kind of toothless, considering our current issues going on in the U.S.
And yet, I have not played the story yet, but I plan to. And yet, from just what I can gather, from what I know about it, I lived in Idaho, and I'm planning on moving back. But that's about right. That's what it's all about up there, kind of, sort of. Except
Less
little
culting.
less. Yeah, it's more orderly, I suppose. But yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
Montana and Idaho and that whole area.
And I realize, like, every cultist, like, every dude cultist has, like, a weird hobo beard.
That's Montana.
It's like
Idaho.
the leaders have beards, but they're, like, kept and everything. But all, like, the followers have these, like,
Just scraggly
Kimbo,
beards.
like, these,
Yeah.
like, huge Kimbo slice beards.
So,
Yeah.
Seen a Northwestern Hunter?
No.
That's it.
I'm from California. I haven't seen anything in the Northwest.
Oh no! The further north you get, the more scraggly those beards get.
hence the beard. Mags, thank you for that resub. Thank you for keeping our mimic alive. Appreciate that. I don't know why the alerts didn't go off. I heard the sound.
Rainbows, puppies, and glitter. These are the things you will not find in Keelhauled.
Guys, if you have hearts in chat, drop those in chat for Miss Hybrid Magpie. Thank you for that resub, Mags. I appreciate it. Keeping our mimic alive. No, the alert went off. Just the visual for it didn't go off. I heard it. I didn't see it, which is weird. I will have to go figure out why that's missing. Anyway, no, the comment that I was going to make was that, like, Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 2 and Far Cry 4 all had very, like, political messages to them. They had, like, moral gray areas. Like, you could avoid all of Far Cry 4 if you just, like, stood around for 15 minutes instead of getting involved. Well, right at the start, instead of doing anything, if you just wait when the guy asks you to, you get an ending. And you avoid
same thing
the whole
in same thing in the new one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You just have to wait in real life time 15 minutes and then...
Yeah.
Cool.
Far Cry 2 had you, like, killing mercenaries and then talking about how, like, guns for hire were bad, kind of thing. And they've all had these very on-point political agendas that were very clear. And this one seems to just kind of shy away from making any real comment on it when it's really, like, we're at a time where a really good comment could have been made. And I kind of wish they had shown a little bit more teeth and done that.
The way that I'm feeling when I'm playing the game is the cult itself doesn't really feel like this hyper doomsday cult. They feel like gun runners and drug dealers.
Yeah.
Give it time.
And it's like you could have, like, turned that, you could have cranked that up to 11 and just made it, like, super crazy religious and everything, but they didn't.
Yeah, I think they just kind of shied away at the end, to be honest. But yeah, there's a lot of comments that could be made. I don't want to get on a taller soapbox than I'm already on. So we'll keep going. Max, what'd you get up to this week?
Drawing.
Till
Lots
obscene
of-
times in the morning.
Yeah, trying to work on artwork, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I watched Sweeney Todd again.
That's such a
I
good
had the
movie.
weirdest fucking dreams afterwards that weren't related to Sweeney Todd, but I have a feeling it was entirely that movie's fault.
It's really is such a really good movie. Like, they did a super good job with it.
Sadly, one of Tim Burton's last gems, in my opinion, but that's just me.
I can't think of anything he's done after that. Were the Alice movies after that?
The Alice movies were after that. Yeah.
Those were pretty shit, to be honest.
That's what I forgot to do. There we go.
Ravens, look, you said you were taking some U time. Did you get up to anything significant in your U time?
No. There's
Fair
been
enough.
an excessive amount of guitar playing and just mental cleansing.
Right on. I picked up my guitar yesterday for the first time in months and need to not put it down for that amount of time because my fingers are killing me today.
Yeah,
Like,
can't do
all
that.
my calluses are gone.
No, literally, I keep one within arm's
Yeah,
reach.
mine's, you can actually
Yeah.
see mine right over there on my camera. It's literally like within arm's length behind me. I just get busy doing other shit and forget to play it. And then I go back and I'm like, oh, this fucking hurts. So my fingers are sore today.
Nope. Making an active effort to play like 2 hours a day.
Yeah, I need to do that more, at least like a half hour. But I just fuck around. I can't play very well, but it's fun nonetheless. But it is one of those things that I need to make an active effort to do more of. So, who wants to give us a rundown of what happened last week and get inspiration for this week?
All the pirates on the ship are cowards. I'm just putting that out there.
So true.
Not all
I
of
think
them.
one of the derp squad should do it, seeing this how they're going to get in more trouble tonight.
Oh, there's a severe lack of backbone on this ship.
What? Hey, I found our shit. Okay, so basically, so since we started the very first episode and we immediately wake up finding out we were drugged and forced to work on this pirate ship, where both me and Mag's character were immediately flogged and whipped nearly to death, quite literally almost, and we learned that, all right, we got to play it cool and figure out how the hell to get off the ship, where we were assigned jobs judged by how well we do them while we try to slowly survive. So I believe only 2 or 3 days have passed, but within those days, we have made a couple of potential allies. We've learned that this group that encountered us, that got us in trouble on day 2 and made us late on purpose, found out he was working with the first mate. So now we have some more issues to work on. So it ended with us gathering more information, learning more about that, as well as locating our weapons. While in the meantime, Mags is slowly trying to unlock this door that has been incredibly unsuccessful many times over now.
Yep. That's a pretty good rundown, actually. Go ahead and give yourself inspiration. Good job. You guys are on day 3. This will be the morning of day 3 on your ship. The Wormwood, which is the ship that you guys have been press ganged into. So found out, actually, that press ganging and shanghaiing are 2 different things. So technically you guys have been shanghaied. Press ganged was forced into military service in the British Navy. Whereas shanghaied is when you were drugged and you wake up on a ship too far from land to go back. So you guys were technically shanghaied. So there's your British naval history lesson for today.
And now you know.
And that's right. I feel like I need a little star swinging by or a G.I. Joe theme playing, one of the two. Anyway. And knowing is half the battle. So
The other half is keel hauling.
That's right. It's figuring out how to not get drugged behind the ship and torn up on the barnacles.
Proofs.
So let's see. Raven's character had been assigned the job of rigger. You were working with Mr. Plug as your direct supervisor, as it were, and not a super nice guy. Rojan, if I remember correctly, is the cook's mate.
Yep.
And then everyone else got swab duty, where you just are given general tasks around the ship. So you wake up morning of the 3rd day, and we have like daytime and nighttime activities that you guys can do to influence how things work on the ship and how your day goes.
We on the 3rd day night?
Did we do the 3rd day? I thought
Oh,
we
yeah, we
did the
ended
second
on-
one.
Or 3rd day night.
Oh, we're on the 3rd day night. Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
As much sense as that phrase makes. Thank
No,
you.
you're right. You're right. Okay. Okay. So in that case, you have your nighttime actions, which, to remind everyone, are to either sleep, which allows you to regain all of your health and removes a level of exhaustion if you have one. You can go gamble. You can entertain some of the crew. You can attempt to influence and talk to one of the NPCs. You can take your time and sneak around the ship. Or you can attempt to steal something from one of the crew's footlockers. Or locked door. Try to get through one of the locked doors. So let's start out with, you know what, we'll just go this way. Zorro, what are you doing for your nighttime actions?
I'm gonna go visit Rosie
Okay,
because I have her fiddle.
you do. And Rosie is the foul-mouthed
No.
gnome. Rosie Cuswell.
Yes, she does.
That's as well.
Oh.
It's gonna be one of those. So yeah, I'm gonna go find her.
Okay.
So do I need to do like a perception check, or can I just kind of roam the ship?
No, you can roam the ship, and looking around, you finally find her down in the galley, swindling other pirates out of their ale and rum rations. And she's probably already half drunk by the time you find her.
Oh God. Okay. This could be either really good or really bad. Okay, so I'm gonna walk up behind her, have my hands behind my back with her fiddle, and be like, Rosie, how are you?
Fucking real good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Looks like you got a lot of rum. That's a good night.
It is.
Great night.
These jackasses just give it to me. I just kind of yell at them for a minute, and I don't think they've ever been fucking yelled at like that. And and especially from somebody of my my great height, and they just give me their rations. It's kind of great.
And they can't handle the fire you have. That's for sure.
What's on fire? Where am I on fire? I don't.
Your belly. You need more rum.
That doesn't make any sense, but okay. You
Yeah.
said more rum, so I'm fine with
More
it.
rum. Yeah, there you go. I know how to make your night better. And I'm
Go
gonna have
on.
her fiddle in front of her.
And she just, her mouth goes slack-jawed and her eyes light up. My fucking fiddle! How did you know what? I don't even care. And she snatches it from you and smiles, and she just kind of looks it over, and she's inspecting it, just making sure that, you know, there wasn't any damage to it. And she like runs her hand down the edge of it, and she's like, that son of a bitch, that fucking quartermaster scratched it.
That bastard.
And she pulls out the bow that goes with it and begins to play, and gets up on the table, and she's just doing like a dance and doing a jig as she's playing, and the rest of the crew that is still in the galley is clapping along and watching as this gnome is just dancing around the tables, kicking plates, playing her fiddle, and just having a great time.
Is she good?
She is. She's
Okay.
really good, actually. What is her performance? Let's see.
So yeah, I kept my promise to the guy.
Technically, yes.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
that'd suck if it was just an heirloom and she did play it.
Yeah, she is really good at it. In fact, you catch yourself kind of caught up in the sway and kind of dancing along a little bit, as she is just she's very energetic, just smiling and playing along. And she finally, after like half hour of just constant play, drops down in front of you and gives the whole galley a nice wide bow. And there's an uproar and applause and drunken like hoots and yelps. And she just like wraps her arms around your waist with the fiddle in one hand and the bow in the other, and gives you this big hug. She says, if you ever need my help with anything on this fucking ship, just come ask and I will do it.
I appreciate that. I'm just glad you finally have it back in your possession. You play really well.
She takes a big swig of rum, and she says thank you, and she just goes back to playing.
All right, with that, I will just kind of dust myself off, and since I'm the first one, I don't know where anyone is right now, so I'm just gonna go back in the quarters and wait for everyone. But I'm not gonna fall asleep because I want to tell them about our stuff.
Okay. All right, but so that was your action for the night, was going and
Yes.
influencing Rosie a bit,
Yes.
and by returning her fiddle. Okay. HB Fox, what
So-
is Zuzu doing for his night action?
I may not have an action depending on the outcome here, because I am owed some lashes for the coward denying my duel.
Oh, that's right. We need to do
bloody hour.
the bloody hour real quick. So we'll rewind a little bit from Jinka's returning of the fiddle, and we'll take care of that real fast. So before dinner on the ship every night is the bloody hour, where they dole out lashes and punishment for those who deserve it. Unfortunately, Zuzu caused a ruckus earlier in the day, got the attention of Mr. Plug, not super happy with the ruckus being caused, and assigned Zuzu, if I remember correctly, it was 5 lashes?
I
was
think
it
it
8?
was.
No,
Part of me
there was an
actually wants to
additive
say
in there.
I think it was
7.
yeah.
Okay.
It started low, but I kept pushing it, so they kept going up.
Okay. So
It was fine till you threw the glass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, at the bloody hour, the crew gathers on deck, and there's a few others that had gotten into some mischief on the ship earlier in that day, and they're kind of taken. And normal thing, two of the crew come out and grab their arms, their wrists, tie them to the mast, and Mr. Plug doles out the lashes. For these two, it were minor infractions, whatever they may have been, so they each only end up with 3 lashes apiece. However, when it comes to Zuzu's turn, to approach him from the front, kind of warily, looking to see if he's going to be giving them any trouble.
He is not. He's kind of accepted that it's going to happen, and he's preparing himself, taking deep breaths, trying to calm himself and stay stoic.
Okay. So they, seeing that you're not really putting up any fight, grab you by your wrists, lead you to the mast, tie you up. And does Zuzu wear a shirt at all, or because he's a lizard folk, does he?
He does not wear a shirt.
Okay. Those of you that are there, the rest of you watching the bloody hour, you see that Mr. Plug nods to somebody off to the side, and the guy has a barrel with him. And he walks over to the barrel and pulls the lid back on the barrel, and you can see that in the barrel is filled with salt. And Mr. Plug goes over and drags the cat of 9 tails through the barrel of salts a few times, coating the glass and the razors and the coral that's tied to the ends of it before going over to Zuzu. Let's see, it was 7, and I believe it's 1d, or it's a d4 plus 1 if I remember right. Let me go double check real quick. Yeah, it is. Okay.
A lot of damage. That's all I remember.
I'm just gonna do these all at once for you, HP Fox. So this number is gonna look high, potentially, but so
Stings a bit.
23 points of damage as he's just wailing on your back with this salt-covered cat of 9 tails. And you could feel that each lash, as it digs in, leaves this bright crimson slash of pain just across your back. And he goes at it, and even kind of, the rest of you can see him, and he's got this smirk on his face the whole time that he's doing it. And then he pops the cork on a bottle of rum and takes a big swig once he's done, and pours it across Zuzu's back. And he says, "We can't have that getting infected. You won't be very good for more lashes that way."
So, originally I had planned for him to say something, but I don't think he has that in him after that whole salt thing.
Okay.
So he went from being very stoic to very obviously just trying to hold his shit together. His teeth are bare and clenched, and he's breathing really heavily through them, his chest heaving. and he's just like right on the verge of unconsciousness.
Okay. I can see, like, I'm sure in my head he's like got his claws gripped into the mast, and he's probably left
Yeah.
scratch marks on them. And as Mr. Plug goes to cut the ropes around your wrist, he looks at you and he says, "You'll be cleaning that out tomorrow. Those are your scratch marks. You'll clean them up."
I think probably the moment the bonds are released, he probably falls to his hands and knees and takes a fair while to get back up.
Okay. All right. So for your nighttime action, then I'm going to assume sleep.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Taka. I will one day pronounce it not taco, but today's not that day. Taka, what are you doing for your nighttime action?
Well, Toka.
Taco?
I think after seeing Zuzu just get the ever-loving hell beaten out of him, he's gonna go grab Sandra, and the same thing he did the previous night with the other two, who had to go and smart off. He's gonna ask Sandra to do what she can for Zuzu and just keep an eye on him throughout the night.
Okay. And you go find Sandra, and she comes up, and she's there finishing cleaning, up her dinner from the galley. The lizard man who got all the lashes. He's probably not in good condition, is he? Let me see what I can do. And she told you to hang on for a minute, and she goes off and disappears for about 10 minutes, and then she comes back to the galley, and she's got like linen cloths just kind of draped over her arm. It's a big bundle of them. She's got some vial of something kind of tied to her hip. All right, we can do what we can for him.
Toka just gives her a nod and begins to lead her down into the quarters.
Okay. And she goes down and she lays these linen wraps across Zuzu's back, changing them out as they're beginning to soak up the blood. And she's rinsing kind of the salt out of the wounds with this potion or whatever it is in the bottle. It doesn't smell like anything. Your guess is that she's collected rainwater or somehow has some source of fresh water that she's rinsing the wounds out with to get the salt out. Zuzu, it burns like a motherfucker, because she's rinsing all this salt out and then applying bandages to these fresh wounds. And it's probably to the point where you're like, again, clenching your teeth and like gripping onto something as she's doing all this. But she's, you understand that she's doing it to help the wounds heal.
Yeah.
Okay. Mags' characters. Arlen, what are you doing for your evening activities?
And that lot got a second date coming up.
Is Arlen Irish now?
Yes.
I really want her to. All right, perfect.
Love it.
So the sass is going to be even more.
Oh yes.
That's even more perfect.
Exactly. Alright. So she's gonna go find that little door that she was knocking with earlier, and we're gonna try this again. Well, let me do a sneak first.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't see me.
All right, you're fine.
Okay.
Everybody, so what you do is you duck out of the galley a little early. You even like push your rum ration over to somebody else. You're like, I'm not really feeling it tonight. And so you duck out a little early.
Alright. And with my thieves toolkit, we're gonna try this again.
Okay.
Open up to why?
Forever blocked.
Yeah, all right. Let me look at your sheet for a second, because that thieves toolkit I feel like should be helping you out a little bit more than it is.
It was just a bad roll.
It was a bad roll, but you're only getting
+4 on it.
It does. For some reason I'm feeling like that +4 is that is double. Okay, never mind. So that's I thought you had a higher dex, so I was figuring the 4 was coming from your dex. Your dex is 2, and
I
then
put
the
my
proficiency bonus is 2.
highest score in my dex. I didn't get good numbers.
No worries. I just wanted to make sure you weren't getting shorted by the sheet.
I know I'm getting shorted by the dice.
Yeah.
The dice are digging.
So you get in there and you clink around, and this lock is impressive. You're not even sure if you understand the mechanism. You're kind of getting confused and questioning yourself. Like, I've unlocked doors before. I know how these work. What's going on? Why isn't this working? And you sit there and you fiddle with it until you're at the point of just giving up. You're like, all right, well, my fingers. Yeah, it's my fingers. My fingers aren't working right today. And you just like, we'll try again another time.
I'll be back for you. They just kind of slink back
Okay.
the way I came.
All right. Cyrus? No. Maybe.
Not an Egyptian god. Try again.
I will remember it one day.
Think Orion, but with an S.
Arias? Arias.
There you go.
There we go. Arias.
There you
I will eventually. It'll take me like a month and a half, but eventually I'll get it.
If you write it down, it might help with the
It won't. I promise.
Actually, for tonight, I am going to be attempting to watch over our thieflings.
Okay. So you're just kind
So
of.
they trying to keep them somewhat out of trouble as
Are you
much as
saying you don't
possible.
trust me?
I trust you to do exactly what you shouldn't do.
I deserve rum. I did good.
You did good.
I did good. For now. I promised Rojan or Taka one day, so we'll see how next day goes.
Okay.
The
All right.
entire ship's on fire.
But no, I'm just keeping an eye out and just gauging, trying to get a feel for just the capability of everyone on the ship.
Okay. So in that case, we'll just count you as sleeping, since you're not really engaging in any
Yeah,
of the
no,
other
I'm
actions.
just
So okay.
keeping a low profile. And
Perfect. All right. So you can go ahead and heal any exhaustion you may have, or remove any exhaustion you may have. Everybody else, go ahead and take the effects of a long rest minus losing a point of exhaustion. Max, do you still have 2 points in exhaustion, or is it 1 now?
I think I'm down to 1.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I gave you that other one.
Nope. I should technically still have 2. It's still here on my index.
Okay. So you're still at 2, which gives you disadvantage and half movement, if I remember it.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why I couldn't open the lock. I'm tired.
All right, so the night passes aboard the Wormwood fairly quietly, as you all kind of you don't sleep as well as you have in the past because of the moans of Zuzu, who like rolls onto his back and then instantly regrets it about 5 or 6 times in the middle of the night in his sleep, and he just
Eventually
cries
probably
out.
settling down with like face down in his pillow with like the whole blep tongue going on.
it's like done.
Oh, and I did tell everybody when they came down that where our equipment was in the shop.
Okay.
So everyone's aware of where we may potentially need to go if they choose so.
And I realized just now that I don't have tokens for you guys still. It's been a long week. So
It's okay. Me and
We will-
Lacey will eventually have something.
yeah, that's kind of
Okay.
actually where I'm at this point. Is like, I'm just gonna let them create character art and then I'll steal that for tokens.
Oh, what's happening?
So we'll just do it that way, and we'll do Theater of the Mind stuff until then. So the 4th day, actually, you know what, before we get into the 4th day, let's take our first break for the night. It's a little early, but that prevents me from interrupting stuff going on. So we're gonna get up and stretch legs and all that good fun stuff for about 5 minutes, folks. Watching at home, thank you for hanging out with us as we play some piratey D&D. We appreciate it. If you haven't done so, hit the follow button so you do know when we go live. We have about 3 shows a week generally. assuming nothing comes up. So that way you can catch this show and all the other ones, and when we do our charity events and all that good fun stuff, go ahead and hit the follow button if you haven't. We appreciate it. We'll be right back here in about 5 minutes or so, so stick around. We'll leave you with some tunes, and we'll be back shortly.
Hasta el mismo sol que sale se va muriendo de envidia.
In Amsterdam there lived a maid, mark well what I do say. In Amsterdam there lives a maid, and she was mistress of her trade. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. I asked this maid to take a walk, mark well what I do say. I asked this maid out for a walk, that we might have some private talk. I go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. Then a great big Dutchman round my bow, mark well what I do say. For a great big...
All right, we are back. Welcome back, everybody.
Hi. Hi.
So, let's see. We're doing day 4 aboard the Wormwood. You all have gotten your sleep and all that good fun stuff. And morning comes and you gather on the deck of the ship for your daily assignments. And Mr. Plug is about halfway through handing out assignments for the day. He hasn't gotten to U5 yet. And as he's in the middle of this, a scrawny young sailor comes running onto deck. Go ahead and give me perception checks real quick.
I'm still hurting from the day before.
Ah, it was almost a 20. Why?
The sad thing about that is I have
Take it.
advantage.
Yeah, I have advantage and a +5 to my perception. I still rolled that garbage.
I, however,
Wasting all your crits on perception rolls.
I'm saving for battles.
yet again, we can see beyond the world.
You got actually character names. Zuzu and oh god.
Who's that?
Zuzu is HP Fox.
No.
Oh god, that's me.
Fair.
And Arisus?
Arias.
I'm getting there. I got the right first sound now.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
He's a third of the way there.
I am. Zuzu and Arias, you guys can actually notice that the guy that runs up on deck, his face is pale and kind of ashen, and you can overhear what he's saying to Mr. Plug, and it's something like this. He's Mr. Plug. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was down on rat catching duty, like you said, and something big swam out of the bilge water, and it bit me. And you see Mr. Plug look at him and just give him this look of kind of disappointment and just shaking his head. And then he looks around the crew that's left on deck for their assignments for the day. And his eyes fall on the group of you. And he's like, you five, get down to the bilges and figure out what bit young Jack here. And don't come back until you do.
Want to make a pun, but okay.
As do I. I'm just going to be.
Are there
Like
any
Jack in the ass?
Are there any visible like bites on the kid?
Not that you can see.
Can I do I guess it would be like maybe a survival check to determine like maybe what animal or creature may have bitten him to make those marks?
You can't see any marks on him.
Okay.
Do I see any marks?
Yeah.
There we go.
But that's
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they look like generic wild animal bite marks.
Nothing that I would recognize as like large deep sea problems.
No.
Okay.
Mr. Plug, sir, if there truly is a creature here on the ship, wouldn't it be wise if we went down with some weapons?
You'll figure it out.
I'm
not arming you. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Let me retcon that a little bit. Give me a persuasion roll.
Oh, come on, baby.
I'm not arming you.
I'm saving for battle.
Katie Cakes, thank you for that resub. Thank you for keeping our Mimic alive for 2 months in a row. Appreciate that. Everybody, if you have some hearts, drop those in chat, whether they be our Mimic hearts or Katie's Cake hearts or whatever you have. Just go ahead and drop those in chat for Katie. Appreciate that.
So I think seeing that failure Dew is gonna kind of step forward a bit, very sluggishly, and he's just gonna say, "There's a lot of traffic outside." He's not saying that. I'm saying.
What do you mean traffic? We're the only ship for miles. Sorry, I had to go for it.
He's just gonna say, "I'm wounded, need assistance."
You did that to yourself. I have no sympathy for you.
I cannot perform adequately.
You'll perform adequately or you'll drown in the bilges. Your choice.
Gonna kind of flick my tongue at him and step back.
I'll let you know, bud.
Well,
Roll higher.
Toka's just gonna walk up to the kid and just look down at him, lead the way.
Yep.
And he looks at you kind of confused. It's the sorry, wrong voice. It's the bilges. It's the bottom of the ship. You literally cannot get lost getting there.
Are you saying you're too scared to go find it?
No, I just
Are
don't
you
want to get bit again.
So you're too scared.
No, it's just your job, not mine.
Well, you need to point it out to us.
Oh my god, come on. And I just grab Toka by the, have to hop up, grab him by the front of his shell carapace at the front of his neck. It's this way.
Spending too much time in the kitchen. All right.
All right, I'm gonna fall behind them.
Well, my first job was having to go after the rat, so I know where it is.
Oh God. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm falling behind.
All right. Let me do this.
Almost want to hop on the back of Toka's shell and just go, yeah, turtle racing!
She's probably done that multiple times.
Probably.
I want to make a One Piece joke, but I don't think anyone will get it, so I'm just gonna laugh. At myself.
Aww.
Yay.
Aw, sad panda.
It's okay.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
We did have tokens before. Did I get rid of them? I did get rid of them. Bah.
Use generics. I
They
think.
were letters.
They were
They
he
were
had the generic
pirates. Generic pirate tokens.
Yeah.
I will find those again real quick.
Yeah, they should still be on that map that we use, shouldn't they?
I was like, isn't it there on the bottom? Or
might
those?
be.
No, those aren't it.
So are they on the battle map still? They are. Awesome. Okay, cool. In that case, we can make this easier. Who's this? That was Jenga. Okay. Jenga, you still have no life left. Everybody put yourselves at full health unless you really just want to go into this fight super gimped.
I mean, no kink shaming?
I mean, that's your thing.
I just still see the ship.
I know. I haven't changed your map yet.
Oh, okay. I was like, I can't do that.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Okay. All right. So you guys descend into the belly of the ship, down into the bilges where you can't really see very well. There's some light coming through the open hatch where you descend in. But other than that, it's a big kind of dark void. And as you step down off the stairs, your foot lands in water, and there's water like up past your ankles. And you can see things floating in the water, and it's one of those things that you're better off not knowing what's floating in the water. And there are barrels and bags of rotted and molded grain and whatnot in there. As you begin to kind of search around in the bilges. Does anybody have dark vision?
Oh, we do.
Okay, go ahead and
The other tiefling.
Females.
the two of you that have dark vision, go ahead and roll perception checks for me.
Because that's been going so well for me.
This counts as combat, okay? You gotta see it coming.
It's better than 5.
I think I might, but I'm going to forego the roll until I actually figure out if I do.
Yeah, I can't remember if Dragonborn do anymore.
Dragonborn
do
do
not.
not.
Do not? Okay.
No.
This turtle cannot see in the dark.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and everybody go ahead and give me initiatives as I draw my handy dandy
Not it.
notebook. No, bilges. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Stop copying me!
Oh. No valid token was selected. There.
Yeah, you gotta click on yourself.
Okay, now let's do that.
That is a really lopsided wall. Let's redraw that.
I believe in you.
The ship has a chance of turning left.
Hashtag not an artist. You guys that have seen me try to draw walls know better than that.
I'm surprised they don't have a tool for drawing straight lines.
They have
They
a
do.
tool for drawing shapes. And I think I can draw a straight line if I actually hold like Alt or something, but that takes effort.
Who wants
I
to
do not have dark vision.
Okay.
The lizards do not. Love
Yay!
it.
Swinging blindly into the dark.
The reptilians.
I attack the darkness.
You are attacked by dire chinchillas.
You would think reptiles would have dark vision, but apparently not.
The dark
No,
Cherry
he-
Dr. Pepper in the
maybe,
nose.
but-
Trojan.
the darkness gets
Hey.
very, very annoyed that you attacked it and just comments passive aggressively at you. See if I invite you over again. Jeez, this guy.
Hey, look, it's lunch.
Oh wait, I don't have my initiative.
Oh, I'm hungry. Don't say that.
I,
Don't be hungry.
I don't have my initiative macro. That's poop. Oh well, we'll do it this way.
Also, we only have Conan.
Next can't count, just don't worry.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Thank God I can see you around again.
There we go. Alright, we'll let everybody see my terribly drawn map here.
I'm just trying to figure out why I can't see Raven up there. Like, did you re-roll? Or did he put you in?
Mine?
Yeah, yours isn't on here. Reroll.
Initiative. Go.
Yeah, make sure you click your token this time.
There we go.
Alright.
This is your fault,
I'm not
Max.
the Lexus of this group.
Yep.
Yet.
Yet.
We're
All right.
saving the strongest for last.
So you guys are waiting around in the water, and I need to I'm gonna move Jinka and Arlen up a little bit, since you guys actually have dark vision and probably explored the room a little bit more than the rest of the group, or at least felt a little bit more comfortable wading out into the water a little bit more than the rest of the group would. And you feel something brush against your calf. Who is this? This is Jinka? Yes, I think. Yeah. Jinka, you feel something brush against your calf, and you look down, and there's this hairy mass about the size of your forearm floating in the water, and then you see little splashes coming from it as it's apparently moving itself towards you. Alright, and it does have advantage on this.
I was gonna say, if it's next to me, can I just react and go, ah!
I'm pretty sure 22 hits your AC. Yes, it does. Okay. And you feel something pierce into the back of your calf, burning like teeth, digging into the muscle.
It's a tire beaver.
Alright, Zuzu.
So, given my habit of having to come below decks to hunt rats, can I do a perception check to either hear or smell where they might be?
Yeah.
$25.
Okay. Yeah, you suddenly get the smell of rats, wet, kind of sopping rats in your nostrils, and you begin to pick up on little motions as they're swimming through the bilge water.
I'm
Hey.
not undead.
In that case, I am going to very slowly approach this one here until within a until I'm within range, and then just kind of pounce on it.
That'll hit.
And let's go ahead and do that as well.
Hungry Jaws, that'll hit. And you dive down, you pounce on it, and you dive your muzzle down into the water, and you pull it up like shaking and thrashing, and you've got this dead rat just hanging from your mouth.
I'm going to leave it in my mouth so I can drink and fight at the same time.
Okay. Let's see. And it does have advantage because it's within 5 feet of another one. Mags.
No touch. I said no touch. Oh god.
It has advantage. She was super happy enough. She's not. So you, same thing, kind of feel something brush against your leg in the bilge water, and you're kind of afraid to look down because you really don't want to know what's floating in this. Because you're seeing like all these rotten sacks of food that have been sitting that are molded from exposure to the water. And you're just really like kind of squeamish and like, I don't want to look down and see what that is. And then a moment later, you have this piercing, hot pain running through your leg.
Okay. How much am I? So...
I did it. I got it.
Oh.
10.
Okay.
Taco. Toka.
Oh, he's just being mean.
He
Look,
just-
I know the rats
Wow.
want to eat us, but I'm not Taco.
You soggy taco shell.
Ew.
All right, so can I see this little thing right here?
Give me a perception check, actually, so because you don't have dark vision. Yeah,
19.
yeah, you can
Okay.
see it.
All right, so
You're not quite sure what it is, but you can see it.
Taka's just gonna like just walk up to it, and he's just gonna get down like on his knee, and he's gonna hold his hand out and like start clicking his tongue, trying to call it to him, because Taka has a stupid obsession with animals.
Okay.
Or Toka. See, you've got me doing it. Toka has a stupid obsession with animals, and he tries to like pretty much take pets before he will kill anything.
Okay.
Having a
Give me
flashback.
an animal handling check. Yeah, it swims up to you, to your kind of open hand, and you can see that it's got these black little beady eyes and these fangs, and it's just soaking wet, but it's a rat that is the length of like your forearm.
And it crawls up onto my arm.
It swims over to you and is like sniffing at your outstretched hand.
All right. He's like, yeah, come on, little buddy, come on. It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Not keeping it.
Oh, I'm keeping it.
No.
I'm having flashbacks to Baldur's Gate here. Don't do this.
Oh God.
And it just kind of crawls up into your hand and begins to crawl up your forearm. The little claws digging in a little bit as it goes.
All right. Toka's just gonna stand up now, cradling it, just slowly petting it.
Okay. Mark it that way.
He's gonna name it
Riddled with
I see
disease.
it now.
What's that?
Who's this?
Nothing.
Who is this? Is this Zuzu? Okay, Zuzu. So your Zuzu is down on kind of on hand, or not? He's not. Is he on all fours? He was, right?
He's probably at this point on his knees as he's kind of slowly getting up.
Okay. And another of these hairy masses begins to swim towards you, and you hear this screech as it like leaps out of the water, biting for you. It has advantage. It's still within 5 feet of the other one. 20 hit your AC?
Yeah, it sure does.
Okay. And so you're gonna take five points of damage as it leaps and just like bites into kind of the where you've got kind of the thinner scales around your throat. It doesn't bite in deep, but it's hanging on and just kind of lashing around, pulling and causing some blood to spurt. All right, this one, let's see. I haven't picked on Mags enough yet. Oh wait, I crit Mags, didn't I? We'll go with.
You critted the crap out of me.
We'll go with Zoro then. So another one of those masses swim towards Jinka, and she's got an idea. Like these things hurt a little bit, so you're a little skittish of it. Does not have advantage. I don't think it matters. I think a 20 hits your AC.
Yeah.
All right. So you're a little like trying to keep away from it, not quite sure what this thing is yet. As it kind of lunges forward and bites into her legs.
Stop biting me.
You're a wizard, Suzu.
All right, Jinka.
Well, I'm pissed because now I just got bit twice. And I did nothing to do to prevent it. So, there's 5 of them, huh?
Well, there's 5 now.
There's 5 now, yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna waste this spell because I'm sure they're not that high anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to use Frostbite on them.
Okay.
Let's see if I can freeze them.
Which one are you going for specifically?
Oh, the one right in front of me.
Okay. A 9 does not hit its AC. Right. Are you moving or taking any other actions?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and crap, I don't have a weapon on me, damn it. If I take a step back though, it probably has advantage, doesn't it?
Yeah, it would, unless you can't disengage because you already took your action for the round. So yeah, if
Yeah.
you move out of its area, then it gets an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna stay put and just kind of be like, "Ugh,"
Okay.
wait for them.
Ireland, what are you doing?
Fucking step on it.
Okay. Which one? The one that bit you?
Hit me.
Okay, so that's the
Rude
top
little grr.
one. Rude little rodent.
Okay, so I guess it's an unarmed strike, even though I'm kicking it.
It is an unarmed strike, yeah.
Don't fail me now.
Very nice. For 4 damage.
Fine.
Alright.
At least it was a critical 4 damage.
You know, and because it was a crit, I will move it a little bit and say you basically punted this thing out of the water, and you watch as its paws kind of flail as it's flying through the air, its tail lagging behind it as it hits the wall, the side of the ship, or the bulkhead. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. And slides down back into the water. I haven't picked on who's this? I haven't picked on Toka enough yet.
He's got a pet.
He does have a pet.
Now the pet needs to bite him.
Nope, this isn't the pet one. This is the other one. I'm not gonna bite him though. Not with a 7. Pretty sure he's at
He's jealous.
19. Yeah.
19.
All right. Let me see here. Arias. I think I got it. Did I get it?
Yes, you
I got-
did. You
I
got
had-
it.
I had a cheat sheet from chat. Somebody spelled it out phonetically for me earlier. What are you doing?
Quick glance around. Is there anything to use as an improvised weapon?
No.
Okay. Then we are going to.
Actually, give me a perception check before you get started. Let's see if you can actually pick them up, because you don't have dark vision either.
And I do have.
Yeah, you're all right. There's been enough commotion and like kicking of things against walls that I think you kind of have an eye
know what
on
I'm
what you're
hunting
looking
for?
for. Yeah.
Okay. Now this one, Mouse, where did you go? There you are. All right. So that one is the pet.
That one is the pet.
Okay. Then I am going to move to there
Okay.
and see if I can play some rat football.
Okay.
I want to kindly ask you to be careful because that one right there is currently clinging to my neck.
No, we're after this one here.
Okay.
Okay.
We're after that one. It's gonna go.
I was with you until you said football, then I started to get worried.
And then Zuzu gets kicked in the face.
HB Fox has seen how botches work out for my games.
Yeah.
No, we're just gonna go with that one. All right.
Don't botch. Good job not botching, but that doesn't hit.
Close.
Yep. So you kind of your foot gets dragged down in the waters of the bilge water, and it just kind of throws off your aim because of the resistance from the water, and you end up splashing the rat with water more than anything else.
Well, time to have a water fight with the rats.
All right. Let's see. How do I want to handle this one? Because this is the pet rat.
I think he likes me.
Maybe.
Saving throw? Still like.
Well, I mean, he got a 0 charisma save.
Yeah, I think it can. I think I'm gonna use the charmed rules, and normally if you're charmed, you can make another saving throw on your turn to see if you can break it. So I think that's what we'll go with. Although their charisma's terrible, so I mean it's a rat.
Rolls a nat 20. He's like, hey, this fucker don't have food.
Bags.
I'm not gonna jinx any more rolls. I'm sorry.
Trying to determine if I need to give it advantage or not. it is
don't think
technically within
rat.
5 feet. I don't think it gets advantage for charisma saves. I think that's just for attacks. So we'll go with the 5, although I really wanted to go with that crit. All right, so he just kind of sniffs around your arm, kind of crawling up onto your shoulder a little bit, and is kind of really just checking you out. You can feel whiskers and a little nose as it's sniffing and nibbling at you, but not really hard enough to like hurt. It's just kind of investigating you.
Okay. And like Toka's just gonna like give out like a very deep like laugh and just like scratch it behind the ear and whatnot.
Okay. Zuzu.
All right. So since this one that bit me is kind of flailing around on my neck here, can I do a dex check to see if I could grab it?
Sure. It's gonna be an opposed one. Yeah, you can grab it.
Okay, so I'm just going to kind of hold it out in front of me and drop the dead one that's in my mouth, and then just kind of chomp down on this one.
Okay, go ahead and make a attack with advantage.
Rat witch.
That's solid 1, and that.
That's 5.
Christ, come on. That's like the worst roll I've ever done.
That's a terrible roll. I mean, even with it being held, its natural
really
AC is
slippery
like,
and
yeah.
it's swerving a lot.
Yeah, in natural like AC, if you're grappled, it's like 10 on pretty much anything. So yeah, I think what happens is it ends up like squirming and writhing as you go to like try to hold it and take a bite. It just slips out of the back of your hand because you were busy like moving your fingers out of the way so you didn't bite one off accidentally, and it just splashes back down into the water. Let's see, this is the kicked one. Sorry, I'm determining who it's going after. Okay. So the rat slid down the bulkhead and back into the bilge water, and Arias kicked at it, splashing it, and you guys kind of lose track of it for a moment. And as it swims under the water, and let's see if it'll actually hit. Does that hit your AC? No, it doesn't. So it pops back up its little head and lunges to bite at Ireland, but it misses. Toka.
Not really liking that something is trying to take a attention away from his new friend, and it did try to bite him. So Toka's gonna put like one hand protectively on the rat that's sitting on his neck, and he's gonna bring the other claw down on the rat attacking him.
Okay. That'll hit. -6. And you could feel like your claws dig into like the squishy belly of this thing, and it gives out this little squeak. And then it kind of writhes free of your grip and swims off into the water. You kind of lose track of it for a moment. All right, this is the one currently dropped into the water by Zuzu. I don't think a 13 hits Zuzu. No.
That'll
Okay.
miss.
So it tries to bite, and it gets its teeth in, but it gets it into like your scales and doesn't really pierce anything, so it doesn't do any damage. And this one is the one that bit Jinka earlier. I don't think anything's happened to change its attention, so I think it's going to go after Jinka again. 18, I believe, hits your AC. Yes, it does. And so it's gonna bite, kind of still biting and clawing at your calf and the back of like your knee, pulling out some more scratches and bite marks in there. Poor Jinka's having a hard time with these rats.
Gonna get rat by fever.
I'm so combobulated. I don't know. I'm struggling.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. All right. Jinka, it's your turn.
So sick and tired of this shit. Can't even make a stupid hit on a rat. I'm going to I want to poison spray it.
Okay.
Get it out of my face. Same thing, the one in front of me.
All right.
Oh, that's
Constitution save.
yeah. It says it's instantaneous, so
Yep. It did not save. So it's 1d12 for whatever reason it didn't actually roll the damage. So if you want to roll a 1d12 for me.
Nice.
8.
Nice. And so you spray out this thick green blackish ichor. I don't know how that word's pronounced. Across it, and it just instantly you see it bloat and then kind of roll, and its little legs like stick up out of the air as it's just this bloated gray mass of hair floating in the water now.
Take that, damn it! All right.
You have any other actions or movement you want to take?
I am. Now, is this one right here? That's the one that's on his shoulder, correct?
It is, yes.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of. Okay, so he's preoccupied, so I'm actually okay. So I'm going to step. Over here. Actually, no. Maybe I'll go one more, just to be in line of sight of these two rats over here.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
Let's see. It is the one beside Toka that he clawed at, and it's gonna try to return the favor. Not with that roll. Trying to determine
That's
what
the
happens.
opposite.
Yeah. So I think what happens is trying to bite Toka again with Toka's hand still kind of in the water. I'm just going to give you advantage on your attack against that one. If you choose to attack that one.
All right.
Arias.
Oh. I discuss. I can't do that. So this one here is still. No, it's back in the water, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that one. I'm gonna take a good swing at it with the claws.
Okay.
Please.
So you slash at it and you drag your hand through the water trying to get it. It dives just fast. HP box. It dives just fast enough to get out of your swipe, and your follow through is just a little bit too much, catching Zuzu across the chest as you kind of follow through with your claws. Zuzu, take 5 points of damage.
Owie.
All right, this is Pet Rat. Let's see. I think that's gonna just be your pet.
He's mine.
I think with that botch, he's just not gonna go anywhere.
Wow.
He's now like sits on your shoulder, and in fact, you could probably give him simple commands.
Nice.
I will give you the information for the rat later when we're done. Zuzu, what are you doing other than bleeding from the chest now?
Being slightly confused at what just happened. But once that rat in front of me kind of moves around a little bit, it'll probably regain my attention. And I think Zuzu just looks like he's having a great time. Like he's almost playing with these things. Going to try and pounce on that one again.
Okay.
Not using his hands, though, just trying to snap it right in his jaws.
Okay. That will miss.
Yeah.
So you snap and you get a mouthful of rotten bile bilge water.
I mean, it probably tastes like the rats I'm eating anyway.
It probably does. And so you like look up and you've got the water just kind of pouring from through your teeth, and the rat's just kind of right there, its beady little eyes like staring at you. That is my fantastic boat, Alicorn. You shush. Let's see. This one, I've got 2 targets here. Let's see. Jinka, the rats just don't like you. So this one's going to try to bite you again now that you've gotten rid of its friend. They just really just don't like you.
They don't. Oh God, I'm
Another 5 points of damage there.
not doing well, guys. Not doing well from stupid rat bites.
They're not diseased, at least.
Fine.
All
No.
right, Toka. So you have. I'm just gonna delete this rat so that I have one less in the initiative order, and we know that you have one on your shoulder.
All right.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So, like, I think he feels that the rat has accepted him, so he's just going to give out a victorious cry as he just brings both claws down on top of this rat who's trying to steal his brethren's love from him.
Okay. That'll hit. Okay, that'll kill it. Nicely done. Are you moving at all?
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay. And it is the one that has been giving Zuzu a hard time. So you bite and snatch at it, and it missed, and it's now kind of face to face with you, looking at you as you're as the bilge water is draining from your mouth, and it's going to attempt to just kind of bite right on like the tip of your nose.
Rude.
It's gonna boom
Pull
your
my
suit.
nose and it misses.
It tried to. I don't
Aim for
think it's,
effort.
I don't think it's gonna move. Okay. Jinka.
I want to do anything to hurt my companions if I fail. So I'm just gonna kind of
Yeah.
About that.
I'm gonna kind of do something a little morbid. Can I go up And there's none of the rats are attached to anyone, right? Like they're not clamped on.
Not at the moment, no.
Not clamped on, but the one that I'm kind of facing off with, we're like this far apart from each other because Zuzu is pretty much chin on the ground, eyes locked with this thing.
Okay, and then and this one's you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go up to him, and can I grab it by the back of its neck, rip it off, and try to drown it?
Yeah, you can try.
Okay.
Just give me a normal unarmed attack roll. Hey, Julian. Hey, Azrin.
Okay, let's try this one.
That'll hit. So you squeeze, and it gives that a little squeak as you begin to kind of hold it under the water. And it starts to thrash and kick and struggle to kind of get out of your grip. Ireland. It's funny, like I can do that Irish accent at any time I need to just by saying her name.
Try and finish this one off.
Okay. That'll hit.
Ha ha ha!
And that'll kill it. Nicely done. Alright. Arias.
Oh, I am getting so fed up with this little rodent. I'm just going to try to grab it and just squeeze it till it explodes.
Okay, well
Are you gonna grab it from my hand? It's underwater right now.
No, the other one.
Nope, that's the only one left.
Oh,
I
that's
the only one?
Yeah.
The other one is
He's only underwater.
mean the other one is Taco's shoulder friend.
Oh, and you're holding that one underwater?
Yeah. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, she's drowning it.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm just going to wait patiently.
Okay.
As the bubbles slowly stop.
Zuzu.
Well, I am not going to wait patiently. I'm going to lower my face even further, so I'm kind of under the water as well. And I want to try and bite its head off.
Snack!
I'll give you advantage because she is holding on to it. That'll hit, but that won't kill it.
Then I am going to do a little extra damage to it. 3 extra damage.
Bardic Inspiration.
It doesn't specify that it can't be used on an unarmed strike.
Okay, fair enough. Defensive Flourish. Alright, yeah, I'll give it to you. And that'll be enough to kill it.
And I rise from the water with half a rat hanging out of my mouth.
Like, oh, it's yours now. Have fun.
Well, that wasn't so hard. Oh, also, I have a pet.
That's, are you gonna
Good.
name it?
His name is Alfred.
Don't name it. When you name it, you get attached to it, and I'll lay you odds we're gonna get our asses back upstairs, and he's gonna take the damn thing from you.
Not if I have him hide.
I mean, he can hide in the ridge of your shell.
I mean, just make sure Zoo, I guess, doesn't look at it hungrily.
Yeah. Zuzu, no eating Alfred.
It's okay, Zoo. There's plenty of other rats. But there is water in here. I want to see if I can find the cause of the leak. If there is one.
Okay. Give me a perception check. So you begin to explore the bilges a little bit more. And you come across a number of discarded crates and boxes that are packed with straw. And a bag. One of them has, like, just kind of sticking out of the top of the straw, a little leather pouch containing 21 gold.
Gonna pick that up.
Anybody else doing anything in the bilges?
Nope, because I do not have dark vision, so...
Yeah, I can't see well down here.
Basically, Mags.
Yeah, just of course, being Ireland's of the mindset, it's like, well, shit, if she found something, I want to find something.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wasn't being sneaky about it. I was just like, this is for
No.
later.
No, I realize, but she's just of the mindset of like, anything you can do, I can do better.
All right. Give me a perception check.
Oh, Lordy, here we go. No, that's I'm sorry. Hang on.
Better, you say?
Hush, just hush.
So
I want it.
you begin to look around the bilges, trying to find something, and singing as you do. Very off key. Everybody else is probably groaning and covering their ears. Even like the little rat friend has got his little paws up over his ears now. And you get so flustered that people are not enjoying your singing that you kind of stop looking.
Hey, crap.
All right. So you guys are finishing up in the bilges then, or
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Can we tell if the water's still rising at all, or has it just pretty much settled?
it's settled? Your guess is that there's not actually a leak down here. It's just where all the splashing waves end up like funneling down to once the water runs off the top deck.
Okay.
And just kind of this is where it settles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess we gotta go report this, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay down here until I've had my fill of drink, and then I'll head back up.
Okay.
Question for Zoo, I guess more of a story question. Does Jenka know why he needs the rat's blood, or is it more of just, oh, he's just a lizard folk and that's just what he eats? Like, would she know?
I doubt that he's explained it to anyone unless they've directly asked him.
Okay. She probably most likely didn't, so okay. Alright.
Okay, that's fucking weird, but you.
Wow, lizard
Yeah.
folk like weird things, alright.
He's not making any effort to hide it, and he's not like ashamed of it or anything, but it's just typically not something that he volunteers unless asked.
Okay. Alright, just making sure. Alright. So I'm gonna guess go upstairs. Make a report.
All right. And so you run upstairs to the main deck, and Mr. Plug is there.
Before we get up there, Imp,
Yep.
Toka's gonna tell or give a command to Alfred to hide so Plug doesn't see him.
Okay, where is he hiding? Is he hiding with you, or is he hiding maybe at your bunk, or what?
Can I give him directions, or can I give him a direction to like hide in the bunk?
You can give him simple directions.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so he's just gonna kind of scamper off your shoulder down into the sheets and under kind of the pillow, and you can see a little nose and whiskers peeking out from under the pillow.
Okay.
All right, and so all right, so you guys are going back to report to Mr. Plug.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Did you want to take any of your daytime actions? So Mr. Plug goes, "Oh, good to know. What did you find down there?"
Lots
Giant
of gross
rats.
Bunch
And
of
discarded supplies.
He
Your
says,
guy can't handle a rat, just letting you know.
He's not the bravest of the bunch, but neither are you. And
Fine.
he says, "I go about your day then." All right, so you guys have your daytime actions.
Uh-huh.
What do let's start. I'm gonna just go in order, cam order, which is how I make sure I don't forget anybody. Thank you, Zoro, what is Jinka doing for her daytime action?
She's not doing so hot right now, and so to avoid further damage, she's gonna be good and go about her duties.
Okay. So your duties really were to catch rats for the day, so that's fine. So
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm gonna go drink.
okay.
I'm gonna be responsible today, so I don't die.
Okay, so you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna mind my own business today and do the work that I was given, which you've done already. So that's great. What about Zuzu? What's he up to?
Since he took a hit or two, I think he's just gonna take a little bit of a rest here to regain some health, and he will invite anyone else that wants to rest to join him, because I will be using Song of Rest during that to regain a little extra.
Okay, so you're
I'll go with them.
You're sitting in like you find a spot in the galley somewhere, or in your barracks rather, and just begin to play a little bit as you guys are resting. So that's fine.
Yeah, and since he doesn't actually play any instruments and is useless as a bard, he's instead going to tell a story about the mermaid that he's smitten with, but it's just a horribly broken and like messy story that you can't understand because half of it's in Draconic.
Okay.
She's still gonna be fascinated.
What's the story?
The story is probably about how he met her when the little schooner that he was on made landfall when it was not supposed to. And he had to swim to get to the safety of the main island.
Okay. What I mean, did she come rescue him, or how did they actually meet? Because I'm curious.
He actually saw her as he was swimming under the water. Because as a lizard, he can hold his breath for 15 minutes at a time. So he caught a glimpse of her tail, and he dove down deeper to chase after her, and eventually catching up to her. And that's how they first met.
Okay. And is that where he's stopping with the story, I'm guessing then?
Probably.
Okay.
The upside, I understand the entire thing.
That's true.
I'm just intrigued by his enthusiasm of reminiscing about the story, even though I don't really know what's going on, I'm just like, oh, all right.
All right.
Oh, bless you, sir. Bless you.
6 is for the additional recovery for anybody that was listening.
All right. What about Toka? What is he doing for his daytime action?
Working.
Working. All right. So you've kind of done that for the day, so that's fine. All right. Ireland.
I have gone back to my bunk and I've literally just face tagged a pillow.
Okay. And Arias. I still have to look at it to make sure that I'm getting it right, but I will eventually memorize it.
So we've done our job for the day. I am actually, if we've done what we need to do for the day, I'm actually going to stop by the store on the ship.
Okay.
And just kind of make sure everything of ours is there and isn't being abused, because that would be unfortunate for someone.
Okay. So you walk into the quartermaster store, and Grok gives you this kind of side glance look. What can I do for you?
I'm just here to look around and make sure all the weapons are in good order in case they're needed.
Says I keep them well oiled and sharpened.
Are there any sort of within that aren't like way out of reach?
Sorry, are there any weapons that are?
Yeah, anything like sort of closer that I can examine.
Yeah, he's probably got like a short sword or a cutlass. It's probably a cutlass on a bench that he's actually in the process of oiling at the moment.
Okay. And is he actually doing a good job?
Yeah, he takes care of him pretty well.
Okay. Now in the meantime, do I see most of our gear while I'm there?
Yeah. In fact, all of your gear is there.
All of it's there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Armor and weapons. The armor is kind of folded and stacked. Like, Grok does not take good care of himself, but he takes very good care of everything that is in his shop. So everything is folded nicely. It's stacked so that it's not getting wet. It's up off the floor on a barrel. The weapons are actually hanging on pegs on the wall. None of them are clattering or clanking against each other.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm satisfied.
Okay.
I'm satisfied. I'm just going to go and hang around Zuzu then.
All right. Oh, Grok's actually supposed to be female. I will have to. Whoops. Retcon that. I just realized, like, I was just scrolling past something. I was like, oh, that's Grok's name. And then there's a picture right behind. I was like, oh, I completely missed this picture somehow. So yeah, Grok's a female half-orc. So I will play her differently now. But yeah, she still is taking care of everything immaculately. Like, that's she knows how important these weapons are, and the captain's probably gotten on her a few times about making sure to take care of them. She's got a couple of scars on her back. You can probably guess that at some point maybe she wasn't taking as good care of them as was making the captain happy. So she has learned her lesson since. But yeah, everything in the general store is pretty immaculate.
Okay. I'm just keep taking stock of where they are, just in case.
Okay. So the rest of the day passes without incident. You get some side glances from some of the other crew, like trying to figure out why you guys are not working. But then they kind of remember that they have stuff to do. But you can see this kind of sneer from a couple of them that are like, why are you sitting on your ass? Why are you laying in bed, kind of thing. And then, the bloody hour happens, and you all get, the bell rings as the sun begins to set. And you're called up to deck for the bloody hour, and it's Mr. Pug, like, there's nobody there for him to take out any anger on today. But he's walking around with his cat of nine tails, just kind of tapping the handle against his hand. And he gets to the five of you, and he just kind of looks you over, and you can hear him mutter under his breath, not loud enough for any of the rest of the crew to hear, but you five can definitely pick up on it. And he says, "Looks like you're finally learning your lessons." And he just kind of keeps walking by.
Just put a hand on.
Give me until I figure out how to open that lock to prove you wrong.
Arlen's. just put a hand on Arlen's shoulder. It's like.
Shut your mouth. Shut it.
It's like you put your hand on her, and Toka's given like the disapproving dad look.
And you can see the wheels turning in her head like it's about to come out of her mouth. Just shh, inside voice.
I love antagonizing Mags's character. Oh.
How long till she snaps?
It's pretty much just like, how far can I push her?
Probably as soon as she's got her swords. She knows better at the moment. It's like...
All right.
Feeling pretty naked.
So Bloody Hour goes on without incident tonight. And so it is your turn to pick up your nighttime actions. Jinka, what are you using for your nighttime actions? You can sleep, gamble, entertain, influence, sneak about the ship, or try to steal something.
I really want my bow. It's not exactly sneakable. Oh. God, I think I'm going to... You know what? I'm going to go gamble.
Okay. And figure out what games are being played tonight. So you go down, and there's a couple of people playing cards, and a few that are playing. It doesn't look like Liar's Dice. It just kind of looks like sevens, or I don't know what the actual name of that game is. Is it craps? Yeah, similar to craps, but very like toned down because there's no table. And there's people betting on arm wrestling.
Same brutal version of arm
Yep.
wrestling.
Yep.
I don't have a lot of strength, so I'm gonna go with craps.
Okay.
That's just me asking for it. So.
All right, so you kind of walk over, and they're over by the bulkhead, where the bulkhead and the deck kind of meet over in a corner, and they look up at you, and just kind of give you a nod, and say, "You playing?"
Deal me in. Or roll me in, I guess, for craps. Never mind.
I was
Roll
like,
me in.
It's like,
Smart cards.
so he says, "The rules be this: you place your bet on a number. The number comes up once, you get your bet back. The number comes up twice, you get twice your bet. The dice add up to your number, and you get the pot."
What's the pot right now?
19 gold.
All right. I will put in 2 gold.
Okay, so that'll raise the full pot to 21.
And
It's 2d6s that they're rolling, by the way.
okay, I was gonna say what do I need to do specifically?
Yeah.
So I just need to pick a number then out of 2d6s. Okay. Let's go. Let's go 8.
Okay. So if the only way you'll get paid out is if it rolls and the 2d6s add up to an 8 then.
Okay.
And they look at you and they say, "Sorry about your luck. Play again."
I'll put in 1 more gold.
Okay. So that'll take the pot to, was it 21?
22.
22. All right, and they look at you and what's your number?
Let's do 9.
All right, so again, only pay out if a 9 rolls up. I say,
Oh, come on!
"Oh, once more then."
Can I cheat?
How are you proposing to cheat?
Loaded dice.
I don't know.
Okay,
Kind of hard to
then
tell.
no.
Okay, yeah. I was like, crap. I don't have mage hand or anything like that. There's nothing I can do. So, okay. I'm just gonna be like, all right, thank you, boys. That'll be it for me tonight.
Okay. All right, and then you're going back to rest at your cabin. Okay. Zuzu, what are you doing for the evening?
So, given that nobody is playing Liar's Dice, which he is kind of taking as his game of choice, he's going to take his cup and his dice and go sit at an empty table near where all the gambling people are and wait to see if anybody bites.
Okay. Let's see. Somebody might. Give me a charisma roll.
Yes!
All right.
Fabulous lizard.
So you're only there for a minute or two, and one of the pirates steps forward, and he's got this red shirt on and this blue sash wrapped around his head, and you can tell that the sash is pulled down a little low, so it's covering his ears, but something seems to be kind of off with one side of it. And he looks at you and he kind of just nods to the dice.
So I think Zoo is going to kind of point to the seat across from him, and he's just going to say, "Let's bargain."
And the guy sits down and he pulls his cutlass out and he sets it on the table.
Now we have like little wooden coins for our ration chips, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll put that
Well,
down
for your rum rations.
rum rations. Yeah.
And he looks at it and he just shakes his head.
I will see here. What do I actually have in my inventory that wasn't stolen? I have some lockpicks in my inventory. I'll put those down.
Along with the ration
Along
token?
with the ration chip, yeah.
How many are you putting down?
I have 3, so I'll put them all down.
Okay. And he'll nod. I gotta go find the rules for liar's dice again. Dice rules. And I will drop those in chat to refresh chat's memory as well. And it was 5d6 if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, drop these in chat real fast. So, Chad, if you guys have seen, was it Pirates of the Caribbean? It was just the first one, wasn't it, or was it the second one?
Not the first one.
was
It
not.
was.
It was the second one, wasn't it? Second or third?
Yeah.
Second one.
So this is the game that they played, or at least a reasonable facsimile of the game that was played in the second one, in the second movie. Okay, so you're gonna roll 5d6, and you've got your physical dice. Okay, and I'm gonna roll 5d6 and just have it whispered to myself, and then we'll go from there. If I can remember how to do it, I think it's GM roll. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So he grabs his cup and he shakes it up, and he's just kind of staring at you the whole time he's doing this, and drops it on the table face down, waiting for you to do the same.
So I will do the exact same, and without looking underneath the cup, I will just say 2 1s.
A 2.
2 2s.
He peeks under his cup for a minute and looks around for a second. And he says, "A 5."
I think Zoo will look under his cup several times before saying 2 5s.
And he leans back in his chair for a minute. And he scratches the scruff on his face. A 6.
You're a liar.
He just gets this grin on his face. He pulls his cup back. There's a 2, a 5, and 3 6s.
I won't even lift my cup. I'll just slide the ration chip and the lockpicks over to him.
And he nods and he sheaths his sword back into his, it's not really hilt, but to his hip, and nods and takes the rations and the lockpicks. He leaves one of the lockpicks behind.
What a friendly guy. I will take it and my dice and head to the barracks.
Okay. Alright, Toka. What are you doing for your evening action?
I think it's time for Toka to try some arm wrestling. He's been kind of away from the rest of the crew the past couple days, as he's been trying to take care of everybody who decides that they like getting whipped.
Okay.
So he's gonna go over and gonna patiently wait his turn at the his chance to arm wrestle.
Okay. Let's see. Let's figure out what the guy you're sitting in front of looks like. It's the super scrawny guy. In fact, it's the guy that got bit by the rats earlier and just chicken shitted out of there.
Oh, he's injured. Advantage.
Wait, it's this kid?
Yeah.
The kid.
How old does this kid look?
16, 17 maybe.
So my age.
Destroy him.
We have advantage. He's injured.
You don't
Alright,
know
so
where
you
he got
just-
bit. His arms are
That's
probably
true.
fine.
Toka just brings up his arm onto the table. I think that he's got to like scooch down in the chair a bit to like even up the hand ratio.
Okay. And the kid looks at you, and then he looks at the guys standing around that are just like pushing him and egging him on. And he swallows hard. Like, it's almost audible. But he puts his arm up, and there's razors and glass and wire and coral on either side of the hand or the table where your hands are going to end up. He doesn't even say anything. He's just like accepting that this is going to suck.
Aww.
Oh, wee lamb.
Give me a strength check.
You taking it easy on him?
We'll see.
Yeah, Toka's taking it easy on him.
Toka underestimates the kid. The kid like doesn't look very strong, but he's got that wiry strength that you only get with having the like metabolism of an 18-year-old. And it's a good back and forth struggle, and it catches Toka off guard. Unfortunately, like Toka catches onto it a little bit too late, and the kid does actually slam Toka's hand down into the glass and the scraps. I believe it was it wasn't much. It was a D4 plus 2, I think. So Toka's gonna take 5 points of damage.
All right, Toka's gonna just let out like this gut busting laughter and like slap the kid on the shoulder and everything.
And the kid's like beaming with pride at the moment. That and he looks at Toka and just kind of gives him a nod. And then the guys around him bring Jack a couple of drinks, and he just starts drinking, and they go off and are kind of doing their thing.
Okay.
All right, Mags, what is Ireland doing for her evening activity?
I don't want to say it's the lock, but it's the lock.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's
a charm.
At some point, you're going to break it.
Honestly, that's what I was thinking of, trying to find like some of the sneaking down to where the cannons are, get the gunpowder, and just get some gunpowder into the lock and just blow
That's
it.
not very stealthy.
Hey, by the time I light it and run, no one will know it was me.
But then you can't go and investigate it.
I think she's just more worried about getting into the lock at this point. Like, she has
It's
a
no
personal
longer-
vendetta against the lock.
Pride now.
It's a matter of principle.
Just let me
The
in.
vendetta is no longer against the room; it's against the lock itself.
Right?
She doesn't even care what's in the room anymore.
Nope, I just want to prove I can unlock this damn thing.
All right, give me a thieves tool check.
Oh lordy, here we go.
Because I mean, you can try the black powder if you want, but it's a bad idea. How many
I need to test something here. Hang on.
how many lockpicks do you have? Did you have?
I think if I do this one more time, that's my last lockpick.
No, you don't consume them each time.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're little metal things. You might break one if you botch. I was just curious more than anything, to be honest. You haven't broken any.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll this again just for the sake to see if this.
Now
is
she's gonna get a
broken
20.
Somehow. Don't you fucking dare! Okay,
Nope,
so it was
it's working.
Okay, so it just hates me. It
Yeah.
does not want me in this room.
It hates you doing the thieves' tools.
That was thieves tools. She got a
It just hates
15
you
on
doing
that
that.
Yeah, it doesn't like that. Okay.
Aren't you proficient in that though?
Yes!
one. Still means she rolled an 8.
It just means she
Not-
rolled. Well, the second time she rolled a 2.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. Arias, what are you doing for your evening action?
I'm
Mags,
gonna
you don't successfully open the lock again.
I'm in for some arm
Come to bed,
wrestling
love.
tonight.
What was that? Sorry.
I'm in for some arm wrestling tonight.
Okay. Let's see. So you sit down right after Toka, and the kid is like just amped up on the fact that he beat Toka, and he sits back down. He's like, I can do this again. I can do this again. Watch this, guys. Watch how good I am at this. And he just without hesitation throws his elbow up onto the table.
Okay.
All right, give me a strength check.
Don't break his arm.
Who knows? Maybe if he keeps winning, he'll gain his trust.
Nope, not that time. So he looks at you and he's just like has this grin on his face. He's locked eyes with you and he's just got this I'm on top of the world feeling about him. And then you step up and just instantly it's pretty much like, and his hand goes into the like this big chunk of coral, and you see his eyes just well up, and he like pulls his hand back and like clutches it to his chest, and he's looking around hoping nobody saw it, and then he just kind of gets up and slinks away.
Oh.
We
I will follow and bring him to Toka and our resident healer person.
Okay.
I cannot remember her name for the life of me.
Sandra.
Sandra.
Okay. And she looks at it, and the kid's got like this hunk of pink coral embedded in the back of his hand now. And she looks at him and she says, look away. This is not going to be pretty. And he does. He like turns his head, like covering his eyes with his other hand, and she like looks at you and she grabs.
I hold him steady while she's doing this.
She grabs the chunk of coral and just rips it from the back of his hand. She's like, there's no easy way to do this, and just pulls it out. And the kid, like, you have to hold him because he gets woozy. And she begins to like wrap his hand in linens. And she says, that'll scar. She's not Irish. She says, that'll scar. But just keep off the back of the hand for a moment, for a few days, and may I advise no more of that arm wrestling. And he just kind of nods and has this hand wrapped and is holding it and just kind of slinks away.
Oh.
And I think
Toka's gonna give a reassuring pat as he walks by.
Never underestimate someone and never be overconfident.
And I think we're going to take our second and actually our last break for tonight. I have a flight at 6:30 in the morning, so we're going to cut the show short by an hour. So we're going to get up and stretch legs and all that good fun stuff for about 5 minutes, and then we'll get back and dive back into some more Keelhauled. You guys that are watching at home, thanks for hanging out. If you haven't done so already, hit the follow button so you know when we go live. Be happy to see you here again, even if you're just lurking. We appreciate it. And we'll be back here in about 5 minutes or so. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
health to the king and a lasting peace, to faction and to wealth increase. Come, let us drink while we have breath, for there's no drinking after death. And he that will this health deny, down among the dead men, down among the dead men, down.
All right, we are back. Welcome back, everybody.
Well, hi there.
Mags, that crit, I feel kind of bad that it just got wasted. But
Don't
Not
lie.
like I had advantage.
Yeah, she didn't have
Don't
a
lie.
that's right. You don't have advantage. Still,
No.
at least we know they work. Look at that shiny
It was
24.
determination
No,
to prove it wasn't broken.
Her sleight of hand is fine. It's every time she uses thieves' tools, she
Yep.
can't break 10.
Yep.
They're cursed.
All right. So you guys have finished your 4th day aboard the Wormwood. And it is dawn of the 4th day, and I feel like that's a Zelda reference or something. I don't know. Maybe
That's the third day.
is it the
Third
third
day.
Okay.
It's third day.
So you all report to the main deck as the bell tolls at dawn, and Mr. Pug is there as usual, ready to hand out his work for the day. And goes around between kind of all of the normal people. He gets to you 5, and he just kind of looks you over in a huff. All right, G5, you've been doing good. Keep up. Keep yourselves in line. We won't have any trouble. And he just has this smirk kind of on his face. And he looks at Toka first. Toka, give me a D6 real quick. And he says, you'd be going down and helping Ambrose and prepping the day's meal. Give me a D20 real quick. Let's see if Ambrose is sober or not.
You mean fish guts?
Yep. Yeah, his actual name is Ambrose, but Fishguts is his actual name. And so you get down there below deck, and Fishguts is drunk already. As per usual, you've come to kind of expect it. Go ahead and give me a intelligence check to see how well you do cooking.
Oh God. Do I add the 2 to this?
The 2 from...
Or the bonus for working?
I'm totally derping on this. Sorry. I forgot that you guys actually do get the... Okay, so your choice of daytime actions, let's do that first. I need to get this order right in my head. So what is Toka doing for the day? Is he working diligently? Is he influencing people?
He's diligently working because
Okay.
he's still like going about his plan.
Okay, so in that case, yeah, you get a +4 to whatever you roll. 9, so 13. So yeah, so you cook and you kind of stay out of Fishguts' way, so as to not attract his ire, and he just kind of spends the day drinking and quote unquote supervising, which boils down to him occasionally going, "Hey, that's boiling too high." But yeah, so you're fine on your duties for the day.
Okay.
Jinka, what are you doing for the day?
What are my options again? It's just
Work diligently, influence one of the NPCs, sneak around the ship, shop, or shirk your duties.
she's gonna go influence someone.
Okay. So you're gonna do this while you're doing your swab duties.
Yes.
All right. So go ahead and give me a d6. Let's see what your swab duties end up being for the day. All right. So Mr. Pug gets to you, and he nods to you, and he nods to Rosie. He says, "You two, you be cleaning out the bilges for the day." And he hands you a bucket. And sends you down into the bilges with Rosie. And Rosie looks up at you and she says, "Hey, don't work yourself too fucking hard today. You did me a huge favor. I will tell you what. I will run the buckets, and you just fill them, and we'll get those bilges fucking cleared out, and it'll be a good time. I don't know why she's got this deep voice all of a sudden.
It's just she's a gnome.
She says, yeah. So I'll just run the buckets, and you fill them, and then you can just kind of take it easy for the day.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Give me a perception check.
That's persuasion.
That will not work. All right. So you're down in the bilges, kind of clearing everything out, and she's running buckets back and forth, and it takes her a few minutes to take the buckets from the bilges to the main deck, toss the water, and then run back down. So in the meantime, you begin to kind of poke around the bilges and those crates that you noticed the day before. And as you're kind of shuffling through the crates, you get to one of them and it's got some straw on top, and you kind of dig under it, and you realize that there in some of these crates are some things that have been stored, and you come across a set of leather armor, 3 maces, and in the actual water itself, as you're grabbing a bucket and you're filling it up and you're scraping kind of the water through, the bucket bumps against something, and you pause for a second, trying to figure out if you should let Rosie know that you found something there in the water, and it's got some significant weight to it.
So I'm gonna wait till Rosie comes back down.
Okay.
And then when she does, Rosie, can you come here for a second, please?
Yeah, sure. What do you need?
Take a look at that over in the corner right there. Look what I found.
And so you reach in and pull it out of the water, and it's got some weight to it, and you pull it up, and it's a hand axe. It's a nice hand axe. She said, well, holy shit. No, it's not hers.
Okay.
She's like, holy shit, that's amazing. Where did you fucking find that? How did you even come across that in this gross ass water?
Well, thankfully with my dark vision, I was able to see a little bit better and came across this stuff. I think it would be kind of useful if we kept this on the lowbrow, and then when it's time for us to finally get off this hellhole of a ship, maybe we can use it.
Yeah, of course.
Now, I'm wondering, since you already have a weapon, me and my crew, we technically don't right now. We're pretty unarmed, other than our fists pretty much. Would it be totally cool if we had this, and then when we get off this damn ship, you can have your pick of whatever you want to keep for yourself?
Yeah, make sure you're taken care of. I've got my trusty hand axe right here. And my fiddle, now that you got that back from me, I don't need anything else. I'm good.
Perfect, awesome. Is there do you think your quarters are oh no, do we all sleep in the same quarters actually?
You do.
We do. Okay, do you think you can help me out and kind of, since you're running back and forth with the bucket, do you think we can maybe hide them and get them into our space for when we need them?
She says, well, I mean, looking around, this is the kind of stuff you could just buy from the general store. I think you could probably just tell people you bought it.
It's a good idea. All right, I think, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the hand axe myself.
Okay.
So I'm just going to I'm assuming I at least have a belt.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on my belt, and I'll just carry the rest of it. Or actually, Rosie, can you help me carry this, and we'll get it to my friends?
Yeah, sure. And I'm gonna add the axe to your sheet real quick. So I can just drag and drop it from the thing.
Now, just out of curiosity, oh no, never mind. I'm gonna keep the leather armor for myself.
Okay.
As well, since they could be found at the shops. So yeah, I'm gonna keep the leather armor and the hand axe and the 3 maces. I'm gonna pass out to. Definitely want to give it to Arias and Toka.
Okay.
And I'll probably give the other one. I'm trying to think. You know, I'll give it to yeah, I'll give it to Zoo.
Okay. Cool. So you have the hand axe and the leather armor added to your sheet already.
Okay.
And I will drop the mace on everybody else's sheets real quick. There's one.
Sorry, Max.
There's that one. And there's that one. All right, so you guys have your maces now. Added to your sheets. Cool.
Toka's gonna look at it, and he's gonna frown, and he's gonna hand it back to you.
You don't want it?
It's not my sword.
But
I
maybe
only
this-
use my sword.
But this is maybe a way for us to get the sword back, if we need to take these means.
Give it to someone else who can use it.
Are you sure, Toka?
Yes. I only use my sword.
She's gonna respect his wishes and hand it off to Arias. Or not Arias, I'm sorry, I already said Arias. Ireland.
Arlen? Okay.
Too many A's.
All right. Arlen, you have the mace. Toka, I took it off your sheet.
All right.
Okay. So let's see. Next person is Zuzu, who was a swab. Zuzu, what are you doing for the day? Considering-
Probably just working,
Okay.
not overworking myself or anything.
Okay, so just working diligently. All right, cool. Give me a d6. Figure out what you're doing. You two are actually manning the bilges. So Zuzu got sent down with Jinka and Rosie, and probably saw all this kind of go on. Oh, actually, I need not one from Jinka because Rosie was helping you out. Rosie doesn't know Zuzu though, so she wasn't helping Zuzu out. So I do need a Constitution check from Zuzu.
That was a save, but
That's
same
fine.
numbers.
Yep. All right. So you're not fatigued or anything. So you're good to go. We already did Toka. Ireland. What are you doing for the day?
I am shirking the fuck out of my duties.
Okay. So to shirk your duties, you are going to take a -2 penalty on all checks for the job's daily task, and take time exploring one area of the ship. Where would you like to explore? Let
Where
me
the
actually give you the
cannons
ship
are.
map again. Where the cannons are? Okay.
Yep. Because
It's
I'm
no
gonna
way.
go collecting things.
Okay.
Sticky fingers today.
So let's go ahead and see what your duty that you got assigned was. Go ahead and give me a d6. It's going to be manning the bilges with everybody else. Watch.
Know who's going to the bloody hour tonight.
6. All right. So you are given the job to do repairs. You are to make repairs around the ship.
Shit!
Get shirked.
Give me a dexterity check -2.
Oh no. Okay, so basically I just roll the dex and then you
Yep,
take two.
and I'll
off
take
it?
2.
Okay,
I'll take 2 off whatever you roll.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, yeah.
So 11. All right. So you actually still find time in your day to make it look like you were doing repairs. Your version of repairs are, that hole right there. We're just gonna push this board up against it so nobody sees the hole, and
Notices
it's fine. But you take some time to explore the ship and especially where the cannons are kept. In fact, that's where you kind of are faking your repairs for the day. What are you looking to collect or do around the cannons?
Just a small sampling of dry gunpowder. Something to spark with, like a flint and steel, or something small I can do the same thing with, and a little bit of fuse. That's all that I
Okay.
need.
Give me a perception check. Let's see if you can find everything you're looking for.
Oh,
So you get the fuse and the powder, but nothing to strike a spark with. right, and Arias, what are your daytime actions?
God, is there anyone else that works on rigging with me?
There's not.
There's not. Okay, so really, I don't have much interaction with anyone else outside of Captain Angry.
Yep.
Not even Captain. I'm just going to go about my duties then for the day.
Okay. All right, go ahead and give me a d6. Let's see what Mr. Pug ends up asking you to do for the day. All right, so he looks at you as he comes over to you. He says, "Aye, last few days, the ropes have gotten tangled. Haul them and coil them." And he kicks back and leans against the railing on the deck, just watching you kind of run back and forth with these thick ropes, getting them taken care of. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check, and then we'll add 4 to whatever you roll. All right, so you're gonna take a point of exhaustion, just from the running around and dealing with the ropes all day. Realizing that these ropes probably weigh 150 pounds each coil, and you're running back and forth with these things across the deck all day.
Probably tripping and everything to make it more difficult.
Yep. All right, and so the day passes, and there's again no bloody hour. Everyone has kind of been in line. Mr. Pug has kind of got this smirk on his face. You all have your dinner, and just before kind of where you normally have some free time to take your night actions, you're all in the galley with the rest of the crew, and Mr. Pug comes in and he grabs a tankard that's empty and taps his cat of nine tails against it, kind of creating a dinging sound throughout the galley. And everyone stops and gives him his attention, or gives him their attention. There we go. And he says, "Our last few days, the bloody hour has been lacking. So tonight, for a bit of sport, we're going to have some bare-knuckle fist fighting on the main deck. I expect y'all to be there."
If Toka had ears, they would be perking up right now.
Oh, somebody's getting a beating.
Yeah, and I think if Zoo had ears, they'd be going flat right now.
Oh, this is a great way for the tieflings to get some anger out of their system.
So the crew finishes their food along with you five and make their way up to the main deck. And the circle's already been kind of formed. You push your way through the front to be able to see kind of what's going on. And Mr. Pug is standing on a barrel, and he pulls a purse out and he tosses it into the center of the ring. And he says, "That's 100 gold for whoever wants to challenge."
Toka's just going to step forward into the circle.
And he smiles and smirks. And he nods. He says, "I see we have a challenger. Owlbear, come here." And from the lower decks, this man walks out. And he's a large dude. And he's got just these big kind of meaty fists. And he's got these white feathers and black tar that are just stuck to his body across the shoulders and down his arms. And you can see like crabs just kind of clawing and pinching at him from wherever he was sleeping. He doesn't seem to notice. But he takes his fist and brings it up to his mouth and just bites down, and you could hear the crunch of the crab shell as it just kind of cracks under his teeth. And he just kind of steps forward and looks at Mr. Pug, and Mr. Pug says, "Ye be fighting tonight." And there's a cheer from the crew and the crowd around the circle.
Have we seen him before?
You have not.
No, but Toka is grinning ear to ear now.
Oh lordy.
Oh, he gets to do his vice.
Hey, Impa. And so Owlbear has this large kind of club with him, and once he gets into the circle, he just kind of drops it to the deck of the ship and brings his fists up ready to fight. And I think right there is where we're gonna call it for the night.
Oh, you're gonna tease me like
I
this?
am. You should know this by now.
You are giving the prize fighter a chance to bare knuckle box, and we have to wait till next week to do
We
it.
do.
Cockfight tease.
Yeah, that is a cockfight tease right there.
You guys are starting to feel a little at home on the wormwood. It's starting to sound like. At least you're starting to figure things out and not get lashes every day. So that's great.
We got
No, we're just
smarter.
better at holding our tongue and not thought.
So yeah, normally, folks, we and I apologize for the early ending this week. I have a flight at 6:30 in the morning tomorrow. I am not looking forward to that, so I'm going to try to get some extra sleep tonight. But we do have generally 3 shows a week. Sunday, unfortunately, I'm going to be on an airplane on the way home during the hours that our Sunday show normally would run, so there's not going to be a Sunday show this week. So our next show on this channel will be Tuesday for Gibbering Mouther's season finale. Is it the actual season finale at this point?
It is
Yep.
going to
Okay.
be the season finale / epilogue style thing.
Okay. So that'll be going on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we will be back here for more Keelhauled and pick up with this this fight that is going on. So that being said, Zorro, who are you? What do you do? Before I get into that, we are going to go on a raid here in just a second, show some love to another channel and some support. Before we do that, Zorro, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am Zorro from E3. I am a variety streamer on Twitch as well as a creative streamer. I do a lot of story RPG based games and occasionally a lot of Dead by Daylight, where I love to play with all my friends.
All right. HP Fox, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am HB Fox. I'm the manager for the Hunter Wild. We have a community-driven variety cast here on Twitch, where lately just breaking Hunter has been everything that we do. We do big launch events for all sorts of games, from unknown indies to big AAAs, and those are usually accompanied with a boatload of giveaways, and every once in a while, some really unique stuff. So stop by and say hi.
All right. Rojan, who are you? What do you do on the internet, sir?
I am Rojan Quest. I am one of the co-DMs here on Dungeons and Distractions. You can find me here 3 nights a week, either putting people through hell or going through hell myself. I also have my own channel where I play a variety of FPS fighting games and RPGs. Currently going through Far Cry 5 along with Mass Effect 2 and Dauntless.
Right on. Hybrid Magpie, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am Hybrid Magpie. I am a creative caster on Twitch. Do a lot of artwork like emotes, channel art, overlays, just stuff to spruce up your channel, and we do play the occasional video game.
All right. Ravenslark, who are you, sir? What do you do on the internet?
I am Ravenslark. I am a variety caster. Currently, I've been taking a bit of a step back, just getting some me time. But I'm going to be readjusting my schedule to more late night stuff. So if you're a night owl, feel free to stop by. I'm usually doing roguelikes or RPGs of some variety.
All right. So I'm Impius. I run Dungeons and Distractions here on Twitch with these lovely people. We are going to go on a raid. We're going to go show our love and support to another D&D game that is going on right now. We're going to go raid McLoken. So if you guys will copy that raid message and hit join raid at the top of the channel, go over there, show them some love and support. We will see you guys next time as they get into more shenanigans here on the Wormwood ship. thank you for hanging out and being a part of our cast and our community. We really do appreciate it. If you guys haven't done so already, join our Discord, follow us on Twitter, do all that good fun stuff so that you know when we go live, so you can engage with us, all that good stuff, and we will see you next time. Thanks, guys.